what exactly do people need to know about starting off in this business?
Thank you. When you want to start snail farming, step by step snail farming, what you need to do, let me just start with, okay, the environment where you want to set up your snails. You need to look for where, the very cool environment. Either you improvise the canopy or it is natural where we have trees. So that's the where you need to site your snail, because snail doesn't like it, hot weather, or it where we have it. And one thing you need to know is that they are cold-blooded animal. They don't like it at all. And whenever you want to start your snails, we have different type of housing system. If you want to use tire, that's on a small scale system. If you are using, we have pen, which we call low fence pen. Then that one is on large scale. Then you can use high fence pen, that's on large scale also. And also you can use cage system. It depends on the material available within you at that particular moment, and the money, that is the capital you want to use for that particular business. That's what you need. And after setting up your housing system, then one thing I want you to understand is that if you are taking the point of lay, which is normal to start with, because we have some people that they'll be going for big snails. The reason that you don't need to go for big snails, that you don't know how long that snail is. That is, maybe it has spent up to 3 years, 4 years, and you don't know. But it's better you start with what we refer to as point of lay. And this is the point of lay I'm talking about. And this is Akakatina marginata. And this is the type of snail I normally recommend for the farmer. If farmer want to go on, snail farming, Akakatina marginata is the best type of snail to start with. Because one thing with this snail is that when it lays between 2 and 18. And the other one, which we call Akatina, lay up to 200. This is Akatina. You can see the difference. So when you want to go for snails, you better go for Akakatina marginata because of the environment here. I live for the Akakatina marginata rather than go for the Akatina. Not that Akatina will not survive. It will also survive, but the environment doesn't favor it probably, well, like this one. But this one lay up to 200, as I mentioned earlier. But when it lays up to 200, hardly you get 3 or 4. Because when you look at the size of the eggs of that Akatina, you see it's very tiny. But when you look at the egg of Akakatina marginata, big, like that of lizard egg, that's how that Akatina marginata look like. And it can lay up to 18, as I said. Then when it's laid at 18, definitely all those 18 will survive. Or if you have mortality, maybe just 1 or 2 that you have as your mortality in Akakatina marginata. But this one, just 1 or 3 or survive. So the survival rate of this one is very low, while the survival rate of this one is high than this other one. And when you have your space now, you have your pen. If you are using pen system, 1 meter by 1 meter squared, you will have your sandy loamy soil as your bedding. That's one thing you need to do. Sandy loamy soil, or the soil that support the growth of plant. You scrape that bedding, you have 1 meter by 1 meter pen. Then you cover it with net. You put that sand there. You don't need to cement cement the floor, because you will need to. The water needs to drain out, and when the water drain out, that's what will give the snail good environment. So when the water drains out, then that's why you have to put something. You put the soil, sandy loamy soil, as I mentioned. You put it there. You make it as your bedding. When you make it as your bedding, then you now put your snails. Depend on the type of snail you want to raise. You put your snails there. When you now put your snails there, after then you now mulch it with cocoa leaf. This is cocoa leaf. You look for dry cocoa leaf or dry banana leaf. You use that one to mulch it. Mulch in the sense that you will not, so that the rays of light will not come in contact with your snail. In the holding day, when you search for snail, you normally see the snail under the remnant. So that's why we are now using bed. I mean, we use the mulching material, that is cocoa leaf, dry cocoa leaf or dry banana leaf, to mulch it. And when you mulch it, after mulch the snails, then you wet it every day, in the evening, early in the morning and late in the evening, especially during the dry season. But it depends on where you site your snail farm. But if it is under tree, during the rainy season, you don't need to wet, because you know the rain will be sour on your snails. So, and if it is dry season, you need to wet it. And when you wet it, your snail, a farmer that raise snails during the dry season, you know, is a good snail farmer, because he will have that period, he or she will have bumper harvest, because the price normally goes up during the dry season. So you can raise your snail any time of the year, but a person that raise snails during the dry season will have more bumper harvest. Reason being that, you know, the price of the snail is always higher then. Then after, you know, set up your snail, put your snails there. Then what you need to do is that you need to look for the feed. We'll be talking about the feed. What are they feeding on? You know, fruit, as I said earlier, you give them different kinds of fruits. Even though your household remnant, the leftover in your house, provided that you didn't have salt or the palm oil, other things there, or pepper. So when you put those things there, you put in a plate. When you put in a plate, then the snail will come there. They are nocturnal animal. All their activities are majorly in the night. If they want to eat, it is in the night. If they want to feed, copulate in the night. So that's how it goes. Then also, when we are talking about mating, you know, mating of snail will come together, snail of the same species. That's why you need to look for the snails that is, you know, like this one now. You look at it. When you look at this one, you know, the flesh fill the shell. When you want to search for the snails, those are the things you need to look for. The snails that fill the shell like this, and you put the snails of the same species, snail of the same species together, like this one now. You put them together, and they will copulate. They will come together. But at the end of the day, both of them will lay. Both of them will lay after mating. Both of them will lay, and when they lay now, you know, it lays almost 4 to 6 times in a year. That's Acacatina marginata. It lays up to 4 to 6 times in a year. And this one, as I said earlier, it lays 2 to 18. And you can calculate how many eggs you are going to have within that year now. If you have 10 snails or you have 30 snails. So calculate it. And when you calculate it, you see that it's a lot of money to you. Especially this period now. Look at these snails now. They are selling it at the rate of 1,000 naira. This one, if you bargaining, if you negotiate with the person that is selling it, they can even collect just 800 naira from you. So you can see how lucrative the business is. So when you go into the snail business, it's a good business. You get your money. For those who want to start behind, I employ you. You can, start small, but you think big. So as time goes on, you have plenty of snails in your farm. And also, you can compound feed for your snails. They feed on compounded feed also. Like these, you put the BDG together, PKC, those are the terms. Those are the terms. BDG, that is beauty dry grains, then PKC, pancake cake, then wheat over. All those things, you mix them together and you make it as a source of, like those ones that we normally give to our poultry also. So those are the things that they feed on also. You put it in a flat tray and you put it at the center. When you put it at the center, the snail will come there. Next day, come in the morning. You see, they might have finished all these things. So snail farming is easy and it doesn't affect any of your occupation. When you serve them in the evening, when you come in the evening, maybe you have your primary assignment or you have where you are working. Then you can go to your working place. In the evening, you serve them. Before you know it, I'm telling you, you make a lot of money from snail farming. So that's why all these school leavers now, they don't need to wait. They should start with snail farming. So it's a good business, highly lucrative. And people are looking for, their delicacy. Choice meat is a choice meat. People are looking for snails now to because of different ailments that we are having these days. So people are looking for alternative feed, and these are non-conventional livestock which you can raise at the backyard of your house. And you don't need to tell people. I mean, people will just come to you. They will ask, how do you make your money? Not knowing that it's through the snail farming. So it's a good business. You don't need to wait for this white collar job again. Just go ahead. Start something. Don't procrastinate. Start something. Snail farming is a good business that you can lay your hand onto. So there is no problem in snail farming. And even though there is not much disease, there is no disease in farming now. And also, the only things that I can say is that this soldier hand that normally attack. But if the soldier hand, you have to prevent the intervention of soldier hand within your snail pen. So that's why you need to have gutter or trench around the snail house. When you have trench around the snail house, you put use engine oil so that the soldier will not be able to cross over to where you have your snakes. So those are the things you need to look into. And you shouldn't allow the flies. That's why you need to cover the pen. Any type of pen you are using, you need to cover it with a mosquito net so that they will not be able to, the lizard or any other thing. Even the human being, we are so funny somehow. If they know that you are raising snakes and you are not security conscious, people can go there and pick your snakes. That's why you have to put security there, or you put padlock there, so that people will not come into your snake farm and pick it anyhow. Or you make sure that the place is safe so that you can raise your snakes accordingly. Within 1 year, you can get your money from snake farming. We have a lot of people. As I've mentioned, I have somebody. We've established the Institute of Agricultural Research and Training, more plantation. We've done a lot of research on snail farming. Even though our director now, Professor James Adedina, does a lot of things on snail farming, he's assisting the program. Likewise, we have other people there, like our head of department, that's Dr. Mole. He works on snails from his day one to where he is now. So he works on snails. Likewise, me, I use snails for my project throughout. So still up to the moment, I'm still working with the snails. If you come to my house, you see a lot of snails there. So there is no gainsaying. Some people now say that if you are raising snake, you will not be progressed. That is, it's a slow grow animal. Forget about that. That is in olden day. These days, snail is a fast grow animal. If you stand there, let me tell you, before you know it, snake can even somersault and you meet snake somewhere else. So that's it. That's that particular snakes. So there is no gainsaying that snail is a slow growth animal. You can make your money, you can make your millions with snail. People export snails. A lot of things are attached to the snails these days. So I don't believe in things. And also, like what I said, the incubation period is just 28 to 38 days. And you have your hatchlings, you have your baby snails. And when you have your baby snail, after 1 month, you need to pick the baby snail, that is the hatchling. You pick it from where you have the other ones, that is the parent stocks, so that place will not be overcrowded, or to avoid cannibalism within the bigger and smaller one, because the cell of those ones are so soft, so that they can prey on that smaller one, they can cannibalize on that small one. So you need to separate it. When you separate it, you put that one, you put this hatchling into another place. So like that, then you have the maximum number. Then when you have those ones now, when you see that, okay, you have enough, or your breeder stocks has already, they have been producing for you, then you can sell the breeder stock maybe after 2 or 3 years. And those ones, you can grade your snails accordingly or sort it out. You sell it out. Snails, the pound of lay now, they are selling it at the rate of 400, 500 naira. Pound of lay. Could you imagine at what age? At 8 to 9 months. So imagine. So if you have, let's say, 1,000 snails now, you know what you will realize from it. So snail farming is a good business. And when you want to start your snail, the R&T, and training, more plantation is there for you. You come there to us. We have a lot. We have scientists. We have people. We have animal scientists. We have micro livestock experts. When you get there, they will attend to you. Whenever you get there, or call us, we are ready to assist in terms of snail productions. You are welcome. Thank you, ma'am.
Very much, sir. In fact, you don't know what you have done today. Now, before we go to viewers' reactions, to what we're discussing today, I need to ask a quick question. You were talking about putting snails of the same species together. I mean, you get a better yield like that. So, can you have in a pen have like snails of different species? For instance, the Acacatina marginata and the Acatina acatina. Can you like put them together in the same pen? And if you do that, what will be the result?
Thank you. You don't need to, I said earlier, don't put snails of different species together. You put snails of the same species together. You know, if you are putting snails of different species together, you may not get any result. But when you put snails of the same species together, like Acacatina marginata, you put them together like this, they will cross each other. And it's not that you just put one snail. You know, snail is an hermaphrodite. It has both male and female organs together. And when you put them together like this, they will cross each other. They will mate. When they meet each other, then they will release, they will lay the eggs. And after laying the egg will stay there for at least, after it will stay there for the 28 to 30 days. And when they stay there, they actually will hatch naturally. I could remember they say it's thunder that normally breaks the eggs of snails. But by the way, it's not so, but subject to the temperature and the atmosphere you put your snails. So this one is even, when we are talking about the snails, when we are talking about the snails, it's a very good business. So just put snails of the same species together. Don't put snails of different, or you want to say, okay, this one, like this one now, you now put them together. You see, don't expect anything. Don't expect any lay unless this one has been, made before with other species. You shouldn't expect anything from it. So, but put the snails of the same species like this, you put them together, and you make your money. This one lays up to 18, as I said earlier, and this lay up to 200. But this one, the mortality rate is very, very high. That's why I don't suggest this one for people. But this one is highly recommended for the people. And when you look at it, when you want to differentiate it, in terms of when you want to differentiate it, look at the tip. When you look at the tip of this one, you see this one is pointed. And when you look at this one is roundish. And when you look at the color also, when you look at the color, this one is yellowish with spiral along. Within the side. Within the cells, you see the spiral something. Also, look at this one, brownish in color. And that's how you can differentiate the Acacatina with Acacatina marginata. But this one, some people, this is the one they normally find within their house. This is Acacatina fulica. This one doesn't go big as it is. But these two, they are the biggest of all the snails we are raising. And when you look at this one is big, and followed by this one, and this one is the smallest. So when I want to recommend for the people, they should start with this one. This one is better. And also, but when you want to go for point of lay, it's not that you go for the big snails because you don't know how old that big one is. You need to go for the point of lay that is range between age of 8 months to 10 months. Those are the ones that you need to go for. So that's how it look like. Put snails of the same species together, not snails of maybe Acacatina marginata, Acacatina. You now put together, you are expecting something. No, it will not. It won't work well. So that's just it. And I said earlier, don't forget your bedding, sandy loamy soil as your bedding, and you mulch your snail. When you mulch it, it gives snails cool environment, and it makes your snail to be thrive very fine. And at times when you see some things, you see we call it every farms, that is cyst. The snail will use that thing to cover itself. It's telling you that the condition the snail is not conducive. So you have to do something quick. Either you put those snails inside the water so that cyst will remove. So when it's removed, you now place the snails in a good environment, good condition environment, so that at the end of the day, your snail will be producing for you. Thank you.
Well, let me just ask some quick questions from our viewers. Adebayo Momo sent us a message from Facebook this morning, although you mentioned some of what he's inquired about. He says, I was told there are some insects that do eat snail. What can one do about them? And you also said remnants can be used as feed for them. Which type of remnant can be given to them? Let me add to what he just asked, because specifically you said that you shouldn't give them oil, pepper, and salt. So specifically, what are
What
the
kind of remnants?
that we
Food
shouldn't
remnants.
give, we should and shouldn't give to them?
Yes, when we are talking about the remnant, the also remnant, because all those one are wastage in our house. Maybe you have leftover gari, you have leftover pounded yam, you have leftover amala, all those leftover. You know, you can serve it to your snails instead of throwing it away. So those are the kinds of feed I'm talking about. Even though if you have rice that you know there is no salt there, you can put it there. Snail will eat it instead of throwing it away. So that's why you need to have snail at your backyard. If you have snail at your backyard, all the wastage, all those foods, the remnant, you can give it to your snail. Even though if you buy watermelon, you buy cucumber, garbage, all those kind of fruits, the snail, carrots, the snail will eat it. So when you present it to your snail, snail will definitely eat all those ones. And as I mentioned the other time that you can compound feed for them also, like the feed that we are compounding for the poultry, our birds. So snake can also bet, the inclusion of there will be no inclusion of salt in it. So we have a formula for the compounded feed for snail also, for our snail to grow very, big, and at the end of the day we have good production. So that's just it. If you want to learn about snail farming, if you want to go into snail farming, you can come to the Institute of Agricultural Research and Training, More Plantation. We are located in More Plantation under our executive director, Professor Adediran. So when you come there, then I believe all things being equal, I'm telling you, you are welcome. That's what we are meant for. We are meant for research. We are meant for anything on animal. So we will be able to, to rescue you. So you come to the Institute of Agricultural Research and Training, More Plantation, for the details. We give you the practical. We train you how to produce your snail from day one to the last day you will sell it. So when you come to the Institute of Agricultural Research and Training, More Plantation in Ibadan, your state, I'm telling you, there will be no problem. You have breakthrough. You are welcome.
Before we go to more feedbacks from viewers, I need to ask you this question. It's about harvesting the slime. Because when we spoke to Mr. Amadi Collins over the telephone, he talked about slime being one of the business opportunities in snail farming. 100 mil of slime cost about 100,000 naira. Now, I want to ask, as a snail farmer, how do you harvest the slime from your snails? Because I know in modern day cosmetic technology, the slime of snails is very, very, very useful nowadays. So people would like to know how they can get that slime, for more business, revenue, so to say.
You see, the slime of the snail, when we are talking about the slime, this is the slime of the snail. Once you want to harvest the slime from the snail, you press it like this, you see the water be coming out. That's why the press, you can see how the drop is just little by little, that will be coming out. So that's why the price is somehow high. And you know what this slime is meant for? When you have wound, you will remember in olden days also, when you have wound in your body, you can use the slime to rub it. Or when you have any scar in your faces, you can use that slime to rub it, and you it cleans it up. So that is the useness of the slime. So the price of the slime is high because it's hard to get the slime from the snails. That's why 100 liter costs almost 100,000. So, and they are using it for cosmetics seriously these days. The cosmetic, even though the fluid, you could remember the fluid in the holy day when they want to do the circumcisions, which I don't believe they do it these days again. The so-called akatina, we call it in Yoruba, ilako in Yoruba. And when they will break the tips like this, and they will gather the liquid, that's we call it imo leaf. They will gather it together and they will use it to put that thing in the private part of, circumcised area. What is the reason? Just to quicken the healing of the wounds. That's what it's meant for. So, by the way, when you have the slime, the slime of the snails is difficult to harvest. So, but when you harvest it and you have much of it, you gather it together, you sell it to the cosmetics industry. They will buy it from you at, high amounts. So, thank you.
This is amazing.
Seriously.
Amazing. Okay, let's go to our feedback platforms now because of our time and the response from the viewers. It says a lot. This one says, please, thanks for this program. How long can one raise snails to table size? Is there a ready market for snail? Can we see a demo farm in more plantation? Thank you. Olajide from Ibadan. I don't know if you heard that. He's asking how long can you raise a snail for it to get to table size? That's edible. When does it become edible? And of course, we have already established the fact that there's a ready market for snails. All right. How long?
Yes. How long? Yeah. Thank you. You see, there is ready market for snails, as you said earlier. There's ready market for snails. And when you want to raise your snail, you can raise your snail within, you can even immediately the snails hatch. After 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 1 week or 1 month, you can eat your snails. That's one thing. You can sell it. But when it reach 8 months to 9 months, you can sell that one as breeding stocks. We call those one point of lay. So those one are ready. After you procure it, maybe after 2, 3, let's say 2 months, those one will be laying in your farm also. But to reach the stable size, that is for consumption, you need to let your snail reach 1 year plus, so that one will be, like this one. This one is 1 year plus now, and you see how it look like. This is 1 year plus snails. So, and it's ready for, for table. So, within 1 year, you can have your table size. But if you want to sell, some people do sell eggs of snails also. But it's not advisable you sell the eggs of snails. Because during the transfer of the eggs, it will, it may lose its fertility. And, at the end of the day, you don't have anything there again. But if you allow your snails to reach, let's say, point of lay, some people sell it at 1 month, 2 months, but let it reach point of lay so that you can have more money from it when you sell it out. We sell it at the rate of 500 naira per point of lay now. But when you come to IRT, I'm telling you, our director give opportunity for everybody to come to IRT, to come and bombard us, to come and ask questions, to come and carry out their, to come and embark on training with us. There is no problem. We are there for you. When you come there, just tell that you are going to the livestock improvement program. That's Institute of Agricultural Research and Training, more plantation. When you come there, then ask of our HOP, that's Dr. Adeboye Omole. Then he will now direct you to where we are. So you don't have any problem. You can contact us. You can call us anyhow. We are ready to assist you. You are welcome.
Have more feedbacks this morning, although most of them just want to get to know how they can reach you. This one says, Up Galaxy, I love your snail program this morning. Please favor us with your host number, Mr. Kukbola. Then this one now says, Please, I need Mr. Akukbola's contact to start a snail farm. We'll send you the
Everybody
contact.
is asking for the contact.
And she now went on to say, also, please talk about how to cook snail to get the maximum nutritional benefits.
I like that. I like that. Yes, because there might be a new technology, you know.
Because I always have issues when it comes to preparing snails.
Yeah, you know? Okay. I think the most issue people have in eating snail is cleaning it up because of the slime. But we all know that you can use alum. Is it alum? Yes, alum, or use gari. But not in this recession when gari is like gold. But if you can afford it, I prefer to use gari anyway. For me, it's easier, just put gari and then the slime is gone, or you use alum. But I know people have issues with that. But then, sir, I think you should answer this question because I want to know as well the best cooking technique, cooking method for snail, so that you get all of those nutrients, those amino acids and the protein that the body needs.
You are welcome. Thank you for such. You know, cooking snails. You know, I'm not a woman, but a woman can cook better. But I think I did organoleptics properties of snails during my master's program and during my PhD program also. I did organoleptic properties. So you see, when you want to kill your snails, maybe you use hammer to knock it, or some people normally put it inside the hot water, but that one is not healthy. But when you break it with a sledgehammer, you know, you remove the foot, you separate the edible portion, that is the eatable portion, you remove it from the other part, and you have to process it. You have to use lime. We call it orombo in Yoruba. You use it so that you not lose any nutritional values of the snails. So you rub it with orombo, so those lime will remove, and you cook it. Just cook it like that. When you cook it, you put it inside your pot, and you cut it into small pieces. You put it in your spot. You see, where you get to, you know, the way we cook our own is different from the way you can cook your own. Because if I want to do organoleptics, I want to know the actual taste of that particular snails. So that's why I will not add anything to it. I will not add salt. I will not add onion. I will just cook it raw, but so that the nutrition value will remain. And also, but if you want to cook your own now, you know, we have different processing method. For instance, some people may say, okay, they want to fry it. Some people may say they want to oven dry it. Like I normally oven dry it. Why I oven dry it? You know, it will shrink. And when it shrinks, when I want to cook it back, I will need to put it inside the hot water so that it will swell up. Especially if I want to send it abroad, or I want to send it somewhere else. I have to put it inside I have to make sure that I put it inside the oven so that thing will. It's not just ordinary oven. This padded oven, so that that water content in snails will dry off totally. Then when I want to recook it again, I will not put it inside the hot water. But if you want to cook it raw, you want to eat it immediately, what you need to do, if you want to eat it immediately, what you need to do is that you will fry it. You parboil it. When you parboil it, then you now cut it into small, then you now fry it. Then even though during the period of your parboiling it, you have some ingredients, spices, you put it there, so and you eat it right from parboiling, you eat it. Then you can fry it also. Then you serve it to anybody that you want to give it to. It's a choice meat. Everybody want to have this snail. Like if I get home now, I believe my wife, you know my special choice. It's not my meat. You know that I do eat snails. So that's just, you can see how I'm looking fresh. You know, that's the work of my wife. Thank you.
He says he's looking
Of course, you know your wife knows. She knows how to prepare it best for you. You understand that? Okay, sir. This has been very interesting. Quickly, let's run through some more messages so we can go. This one says, is it possible to extract the slime when we want to cook snail, and how can we do it? Jide Ibadan. Jide, you are in Ibadan. You're asking so many questions. This is like the second message you're sending. Go to more plantation. Is there in Ibadan? Go and, like Mr. Kukwala said, go and bombard them there with your questions, okay? But having said that, to everybody who is asking for the contact, of our guest today, and even to Amadi Collins, who called over the telephone. I promise you, before the end of today, everybody will get the contact. Okay, for those who are interested in snail farming and all of that, you want contact, we will help you out, because that's the purpose of the program. Now, Honorable Stanley Odidi from Benin City, I acknowledge your message. I will send you the number as well. A lot of questions here, all of them basically are asking about contact. Now, Timothy Okosun, you are asking if we cannot crossbreed Akakatina is Akatina really, with Akakatina marginata. I think Mr. Popola has already answered that. If you crossbreed it, you will not get a good result. So it's better for you to have snails of the same species together in a pen. When you do that, when they mate, I mean, the yield is better for you, especially if you're doing it for business purposes. Plus, Akakatina marginata, like he said, is best for our climate here, and then they grow bigger than the Akatina. So let's keep that in mind. Wow, why am I sounding like a scientist now? Okay.
Shalom, you Samuel from Abia State. You just sent a question. We've seen your message. He asked, can the snails be, of course we've answered that, can the snails be exported after breeding, or is it only for domestic use? Of course we've answered that on the show today. You could actually breed and export from outside Nigeria and even make good foreign exchange from that. Yeah.
All right, my name is Dr. Oyedele Oyediji, the immediate past registrar of the Nigerian Institute of Animal Science. I have been in snail farming for 25 years. I want to add that adequate pest control is also needed in snail farming. Snails also suffer attacks and mortalities from pests and diseases. Major pest is soldier ants. Exporting snails is very lucrative, but we are yet to develop adequate standard documents to assist exporters. We are working on this. Thank you so much, Dr. Oyediji. Thank you for your contribution. This one says, good morning. Thank you so much for bringing this program. How do I get in touch with the man in Ibadan and Mr. Amadi Collins at Ikpaja? I have your number. I'll send you.
Okay,
yes.
I have this one from Jos, Plateau State. Simply asked, please, I want to go into small snail farming. How much do I need to do this farming, and where can I get the snails from in Jos?
This last one, so that we can close up this segment. This one says, I really want to know how important snail water is with blood pressure. This one is from Olubi David. He's asking how snail water helps to regulate blood pressure. All right, I think that will be our last question to you, sir, so we can go quickly.
Thank you. And the snail water, when we are talking about the snail's water, that's fimo leaf, that is mosainin or is mosainin. You know, when you is highly potent for those who are hypertensive, it reduces the level of blood pressure in individual that has it. You know, our forefather do has other things to eat, like honey, because some people don't like to drink that fimo leaf raw like that. Some people had like to eat just to reduce the level of blood pressure. There are some medicinal things that attach to that fluid that make it to work. Because I've seen some people requesting, even though if you go to where they sell snails now, you see them, they gather the water together, then they sell it out. So they make it as a source of money for their own living also. So it reduces the level of blood pressure in individual drastically. So that's just it concerning the blood pressure issue.